Hey, you guys. So I know that Trump recently disavowed Project 2025, which I thought was very stupid because Project 2025, as you continue to watch this video, I thought was a really good plan for the right wing slash conservative movement. There's a lot of policies within Project 2025 that I agree with, and I think would benefit this country, but he disavowed it. We have a lot to talk about, and I hope you guys understand my viewpoints. This video was before he denounced Project 2025, but I think I made really good points, and at the end, I hope you actually listen and actually understand my perspective on it all as I dissect some policies that leftists are afraid of in Project 2025. Hey you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Bruce. How you doing? To start off, I just want to say that we are going to be reacting to videos of Project 2025 on TikTok. There's a lot of leftists out here that are very fearful of Project 2025, and I've been getting a lot of comments from people out there under my videos talking about I should be looking at Project 2025. There's a lot of leftist propaganda that's happening right now where they are just trying to make people feel like that Republicans want to take away their rights. I'm not saying that they don't. Because I have videos of me talking about how the Jewish lobby has been actively trying to take away Christians' right to be able to have free speech when it comes to the Bible and who killed Jesus. There are a lot of writers out here that are pro-Israel that do side with the Jewish lobby because of money, and they are basically actively trying to pass these laws to stop people from speaking their minds about Israel. And you basically cannot even do a protest against Israel at all, and it's insane. But I've been looking around on TikTok and seeing a lot of this stuff about Project 2025, and I finally want to come on here and react to some videos and give my take on it, and to see is the Republicans actually going to take away our rights? Are the Republicans actually going to destroy the civil rights that we have garnered over these years? We're gonna see. Okay, we're gonna see. I'm not saying they're not in a different way, but this right here and what I've seen about Project 2025, I truly think it's a farce. To go into this and to let you know that. But yeah, let's react to some videos. Alright, before we get into all of this, you guys, I do have to clarify, this is what people are getting very scared about, is because this is supposedly Trump's plan within the 180 days that he becomes president, that these are the policies and stuff like that that he wants to be putting in action when he takes the White House. And, people are very fearful right now. The Times Magazine literally just put panic on the cover with Joe Biden walking off the damn magazine, because they finally they want to acknowledge that Joe Biden is not fit to be president. And I think I've already talked about my reaction towards the debate in my vlog, which you can watch my last video if you're new here. And you guys, they are so in a panic right now. It's actually so funny, because now they see that everyone in the whole entire world, all the leftists that don't watch any of the right-leaning content, they finally see that Joe Biden is not right in the brain, and now everyone wants to talk about how Joe Biden, he's not fit to be president, and this and that. When we already been knowing this, they just been wanting to hide it from you guys, because you stupid fucks out there don't like to look at anything that's different from what you watch. But we're going to look at this shit right now. People are so retarded. Anyways, let's get started.
Project 2025. You may have heard about it in the news, but I want to tell you about the dangerous reality of what it is. Trump's Project 2025 agenda isn't just another policy plan. It is a 900-page blueprint for an authoritarian takeover. But let's talk specifics. This agenda aims to strip away what...
Authoritarian takeover. Oh, that sounds so familiar, doesn't it? It sounds like Joe Biden, how he literally is trying to go after his opponent, in the most authoritarian way with the Democrats. But okay, Trump is authoritarian. He could have locked Hillary Clinton's ass up a while ago, but did he? No, he didn't. He should have.
women's reproductive freedoms by implementing a nationwide abortion ban, even in cases of rape or incest. It would also defund Planned Parenthood and other organizations that provide essential health services to millions of women. On the border, Project 2025 includes draconian border policies that are designed to tear families apart. It seeks, for example, to reinstate family separations and implement mass deportations, which would turn our immigration system into an instrument of cruelty. Project 2025 calls for the rollback of environmental protections, dismantling our regulations that keep our air and water clean. It proposes opening up national parks and protected lands to oil drilling and mining, which would of course prioritize corporate profits over our planet's health. This agenda is all part of the broader goal of the GOP to mold the country into their Christo-fascist fever dream. They want to erase the separation between church and state, pushing for mandatory religious education in public schools, allowing businesses to discriminate based on religious beliefs, and implementing laws that undermine LGBT rights. This whole plan is a direct attack on our democracy, aiming to concentrate power in the hands of a few while stripping away the rights and protections of the many. So this November, let's make sure that Project 2025 never becomes a reality.
Just off of this alone, like, you guys, like, defunding Planned Parenthood, like, oh my god, like, isn't that the worst thing ever, to defund Planned Parenthood and dismantle that demonic organization? Like, oh my god, would that be the worst thing to do? Like, oh my god, it's the worst thing to do, to, like, dismantle an organization that literally kill babies. Oh my god, you guys, we should rally. We need to rally right now, bitch. We need to rally right now. Because, like, wow, like, I did not know that, like, dismantling Planned Parenthood, an organization that gets billions upon billions of dollars to literally coerce women to get abortion, and to kill their babies, is the worst thing to do in this world. Like, oh my fucking god, like, give me a fucking break. You guys, y'all already know, like, I am anti-abortion. I am anti-abortion. I'm more anti-abortion than Donald Trump. Okay? Like, everyone wants to make it seem like that Donald Trump actually is here for, like, national ban on abortion. He's not. Since the 90s, okay, he has been pro-choice. He has always been pro-choice. The only thing that he is not for is literally the third trimester.
Partial birth abortion. The eliminating of abortion in the third trimester. Big issue in Washington. Would President Trump ban partial birth abortion?
Well, look, I'm very pro-choice. I hate the concept of abortion. I hate it. I hate everything it stands for. I cringe when I listen to people debating the subject. But I just believe in choice. And again, it may be a little bit of a New York background because there is some different attitude in different parts of the country. And, I was raised in New York and grew up and work and everything else in New York City. But I am strongly for choice, and yet I hate the concept of abortion.
Thing that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade. They wanted it ended. It must be remembered that the Democrats are the radical ones on this position because they support abortion up to and even beyond the 9th month. The concept of having an abortion in the later months and even execution after birth, and that's exactly what it is. The baby is born, the baby is executed after birth, is unacceptable, and almost everyone agrees with that. My view is now that we have abortion where everybody wanted it from a legal standpoint, the states will determine by vote or legislation or perhaps both, and whatever they decide must be the law of the land, in this case, the law of the state.
Which is, like, a lot of Democrats out there, a lot of leftist lunatics out there, you guys would not mind for a baby to get, like, aborted at the 9-month mark. You would not. And in many other states, that is permitted. Like, that is happening. Like, and of course it's very rare, but for that to be allowed, even though it's rare, yes, I'm nuanced. I'm aware that, like, it's very rare and that most of the abortions are done in the first trimester. I know this, okay? I'm not stupid. But regardless, it is still murder. Like, it's still murder. It's a different type of murder. It is. It is a murder that society has allowed and that society has normalized, and that I think is very demonic, and that we are literally living like Aztec. Like, we are Aztec motherfucking people now. Like, still to this day, murdering and sacrificing children for fame, for careers, for money, for anything else. And sometimes not even those things. It also can be due to men out there, abusive men, or men that do not care about their girlfriends that they get pregnant with, and they want them to abort their child because they're not ready or whatever like that. But it's still wrong. Or there are women out here that just like they're not ready to have kids, so they're like whatever. Or they have frivolous sex. They're like whatever. Let's just abort a child. It doesn't fucking matter. Let's just abort a child. It doesn't fucking matter. I could have a plan B. Plan B. You know, just frivolously doing that due to like the selfish reasons when they honestly should be more responsible and keep their legs closed. Keep your legs closed, bitch, and you won't get pregnant. And it's very sad, like, how our society has normalized this, but do you think that, like, I'm going to panic over here and think that, like, a part of that Project 2025 plan, that's going to make me feel some type of way? No, it's not. Also, the climate thing, like, y'all already know, if you have watched any of my videos in the past, I am very, very, like, I believe that climate change, global warming is a hoax. I truly do. I don't believe global warming is real. I am right now, as I'm burning up in this attic right now in my room. Yes, it's very hot outside because you know why? It's summer. It's summer, bitch. It is summertime. I got the summertime sadness. Yes, it's summer. Like, of course it's going to be fucking hot. Of course the heat is going to burn your ass, bitch. Of course that fucking monument in Washington, D.C. that was made out of wax is going to be, like, burning up. It's fucking summer. Everyone's acting like that we are literally living in the most hottest time. Like, y'all say this every fucking year. Y'all say this every fucking year that we're living in the hottest summer ever. The hottest summer ever, bitch. Please, okay? It's always been like this in summertime. I think that you guys are so fucking retarded. I do understand that we should protect our climate. We should, like, you know, decrease, like, you know, our air from being so fucking disgusting due to these corporations that, like, you know, allow all this smoke and stuff like that in the air, just, like, destroying our bodies, our health. I do understand that aspect of it for sure, but I don't believe that, like, we are, like, in the end of the earth, like, the world's gonna fucking crash and, like, the planet's gonna literally fall out of the fucking galaxy. I'm not in that kind of mindset whatsoever. I don't believe that's gonna happen. I do believe the sun does get closer to our earth every year. I do understand that. And I do understand that us humans, we, with, you know, with all these landfills and plants and stuff like that, it does attract the heat to our planet a lot. I understand these things. I'm not fucking retarded. But that's due to us. Like, if we change our habits, which I'm pretty sure, other than any other fucking country, which no one ever wants to talk about how, like, you know, everyone talk about the turtle with the plastic and the nose. Like, and that was happening from an Asian country. They don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care. Here in America, we recycle, reduce, and reuse as much as we can here. But still, we want to talk about how we're the issue. We need to, like, start wearing this specific clothing. We need to get, like, throw away our fucking ovens and go to electric and go to electric cars, start with the gas cars, and basically destroying our humanity for the climate, which we cannot change. I'm just so sick of this bullshit. I really am. Like, you need to stop having plastic everything. It's gonna kill you. Like, bitch, I'm so done. Like, I think that we should go back to gas-powered everything. I do. I believe gas ovens are the best. I believe that gas cars are the best. I believe that these electric cars are literally retarded trans cars that I cannot stand. Like, climate change is such a hoax to me. I cannot deal. Like, if you want to argue with me about it, I don't give a fuck. Argue with me about it, but I will not listen to you, and I never change my mind on that. I don't want to argue about it. I know what I know. I know that, like, if these scientists, if they were so smart, if they look back upon thousands of years, and you look at the charts, and you see that, like, he has always been going up and down the charts, for up and down the centuries for years. And now all of a sudden, like, everyone's like going crazy because they cut down and they go back like 100 years and they look at how high the charts go and stuff like that. Dude, it's propaganda, okay? And it's a way to try to government us more to the point that we are, like, literally not humans, that we are literally their cattle, okay? If you don't look at what the fucking World Economic Forum has in store for us, and they're not even our government. They're not even our government. It's a government no one has ever asked for. They're implementing these things where they don't want us to eat meat. They want to come for our farmers. They're coming for our clothing. They're coming for everything. They want us to quit using gas-powered cars. Like, dude, And it's a way to, like, you know, implement these kill switches in our cars. Going, like, in 2026, like Thomas Massey, he talked about how, like, he wants to dismantle the bill where they want to have you know, only electric cars, and implementing these kill switches that don't even give us no type of like reasons of like at any moment, like when can y'all kill switch our car, when can y'all, like, you know, is it only when drivers are drunk? How will you know they're drunk? Are you spying on us? Are you doing, they're doing all this crazy shit but under your fucking nose, but you guys want to cry about climate change. You guys, like, I think it's bullshit. I think that we should drill as much oil as we can. We need to go back to being independent, instead of getting money, instead of getting oil from Venezuela, from third world countries that honestly don't give a fuck about us, that don't even have the same values as us, and that we don't need to be trading as much with them. Like, we need to be doing our own thing, like every other country has done for so long. I think that we were better off under Trump's policies of becoming an independent nation. I do, and I think that we need to go back to that. And a lot of these leftists out here, they're so scared of climate changing. They're so scared of climate changing. Oh my god, that they don't understand that we was in a much better place when we were independent, and also drilling more oil and open up the extra large pipeline. Yes, period. Okay, even the border. Let's talk about the border, because that's what's also being mentioned in these videos. They mentioned that, like, there's going to be harsher border laws and stuff like that under Trump. And you know what? Good. That's exactly what I want. I'm pretty sure that everyone out there that has a brain and that isn't being fucked by leftist propaganda, you will know that, like, you will want your border and your country to be protected. Now, when it comes to these families that immigrate from Mexico, Ghana, whatever the fuck, China, however have you, regardless if they come with children or not, crossing the border, getting here. Have you ever watched the documentaries? Bitch, we should be harsher on the border because people are getting killed. Children are getting, like, sexually assaulted by the cartel, by many things like that, and people to get across this border. And some of these people are coming out here kidnapping children, trafficking drugs. I'm pretty sure the smartest thing to do is to be harsher on the border. We shouldn't be allowing anybody to come through the border, because if you allow anybody to come to the border and you allow anybody to get the benefits of America, we won't be America anymore, okay? That's the truth. That's the fucking truth. And look at what's happening now. If you guys wake up and you actually see what's happening now in our jobs, you see that like, you don't see many Americans anymore working in jobs anymore, do you? No, you don't. You see undocumented illegal immigrants that are literally on work visas being able to take over your job, and you can't even get a job. They won't accept you because the jobs are taken up. You're not being able to have, like, you know, actual good communication because they don't speak English. It's a lot of different things that's happening in the workplace, which I've talked about in my personal experiences, that is very hard. It's a shame that we go to these, different, stores, or we go to these different places like an airport, or, even a McDonald's restaurant or whatever like that, and you can barely understand anything they're talking about because these people do not assimilate to our culture. They are not trying to assimilate. They want to come here, take, send their money back to the other countries, and it's not going back into our country. And that's not good for our economy at all. We have to have a smooth sailing like economy, and not people taking our money and sending it overseas. Period. And when it comes down to these children, again, I want to say, like, detaining these people that are illegals, that have done crimes, and that have, sexually assaulted children, especially in America. You already know what happened with Lincoln Riley, that poor girl, like, and so many other girls, white girls. To me, it's always been the white girls out there that's being, brutally murdered, brutally sexually assaulted, and they are allowing these people to come in here. If you look at our Secretary of Homeland Security, that motherfucker Alejandro Mayorkas, the one who used to work for this Hebrew organization that allow and give these illegal immigrants a way to get here to America.
Panama, I'm at the Bajo Chiquito migrant camp, which is the first point of contact for many of these migrants who then get out of the Darien Gap and are trying to then get to other migrant camps like Lajas Blancas or take the bus to Costa Rica so that they can continue their path, ultimately going to the United States of America. And you can see here we have a map that's been provided by HIAS, which is a Jewish organization. It's disgusting. As a Jew, as an American, somebody who's in favor of closed borders, I find it to be absolutely disgraceful that groups like HIAS, which stands for the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, are using Judaism as a cloak to traffic human beings around Central and South America and then into the United States. Here, you can see that it's in cooperation with the United Nations, and they have all the routes listed. So for all the migrants that want to know where they should go once they arrive here, starting from Colombia, the entrance to the Darien Gap, right, here's all the different locations and stops. They tell them the weather in each location, the height of the water, the current, and then to Panama. So it's Colombia, Panama. We're currently now in Bajo Chiquito. That line over there.
And his brother works with them as well. That's the reason why we are having so much illegal immigrants coming over the border. It's also a government-funded organization as well. If you guys don't wake up to like how this is happening and how like the government, this current administration is literally fucking our country, now you know. Go look it up. Go look at my other videos about this. I've talked about it so many times because I think that it's so disastrous what's happening. And that's why we should have harsher border laws. We do. The border, like literally, even the border patrols do not endorse like Joe Biden. They don't. They literally tweeted out that they do not endorse Joe Biden, even though Joe Biden literally lied in that fucking debate and said that they endorse him. They don't endorse him. They don't want him because he has made the border even more fucking disastrous and more dangerous. It is insane, you guys. Like, we have to really side with the propaganda, side with the fucking fear-mongering that they're doing to the leftists out here. And honestly, we need to, like, I think that we need to have people actually out here to Trump. I think Trump needs to actually explain more clearly of his border policy. And, you know, not be so, like, you know, I'm sorry, you guys. It's motherfucking hot up here, like, and I'm, like, melting like a fucking witch right now. So, what I was saying, like, I think Donald Trump's, like, delivery on the border, I think that the smart, strategic way to, like, actually combat the first left about the border is to just explain, like, what Joe Biden and Barack Obama did to the kids. Like, they're the ones who put them in cages. Like, everyone likes to forget that, like, they are the ones who would capture the families and separate them and put them in cages. But no one ever wants to talk about that. They always want to try to make it seem like that Trump's whole plan was to, like, separate the families and put them in cages. That's not what he wants to do. He literally just want to deport them and put them back to where they came from safely, and also save our fucking country and to protect the border. That's all it is. But I think that, like, his delivery on it, and, like, people don't want to listen to people don't want to listen because of, like, all the media and how, like, they've, like, basically demonized him and stuff like that. I think if he did, like, in a softer way, in a more, like, compassionate way, because that's what the left loves. The left loves compassion. They love compassion. They love the heartfelt bullshit because, like, they want to feel very important. They want, like, the, you know, like, the pat on the back, being a nice guy. Like, and that's why when it comes to, like, abortion and all this kind of stuff, they all gather together because, like, it's a compassionate thing. It plays on your feelings. It's what it's all about. So, I think that's one thing that I think Trump has to, like, do. But to be honest, I think Trump's going to win regardless. So, like, regardless of how anyone thinks, like, how compassionate he should be and this and this and that, I think that it will be fine. That's really how I feel. But that's just my perspective on that. I hope you understand. I'm sorry I had to, like, stop the video. Like, I'm fucking hot. And I was also getting fucking interrupted, like always. I'm always getting fucking interrupted. And now the other thing is everyone's being so fearful about, like, you know, the gay rights of it all. And the only rights they want to protect is basically performing in front of children in the most, like, disgusting way possible. They want to continue to teach them about gay sex, about sexuality, period. And that's why, like, you know, when it came to, like, the quote-unquote don't say gay bill in Florida, like, everyone got all up in arms and talked about, like, how Florida is the most homophobic state out there. Texas is the most homophobic state out there, all this kind of stuff, because they just implemented like children should not be getting their breasts cut off, children should not be getting their penises cut off, children should not be taught sex at a very young age. There were videos on Project Veritas when that was a thing, where teachers were literally passing out dildos, passing out sexual objects in classrooms to literally young children in elementary school. That's what they want to stop in many of these states and outlaw that, period. And I think that's the right thing to do. I think in most red states that have been stopped, you know? And I think that, like, that is another fear-mongering thing. Like, they also just claim that, like, oh, they come for LGBT rights, but they never talk about the specifics of what are they trying to stop. And that's the things they want to stop. They don't want children to, at young ages, to, like, you know, go through like surgeries because they think they're like a different gender, and like, you know, they fuck up their whole entire life forever. They want them to wait till they at least younger. Like I truly think that like these people, they love the fearmonger because like they play on your emotions. Like that's what I've learned too. Like when I stopped becoming like, you know, a very leftist person, it's about emotion. I think when you become more of a rightist and a more independent person, you get less emotional about these things. You just get right down to business. And I think that's what it is. Like, a lot of this is about business, bitch. A lot of this is about, like, you know, being logical and being harsh. Because politics is not like, oh, lovey-dovey and, like, stuff like that. It's not. It's not like that. So, like, I think that when they just, like, flat out just be like, coming for LGBT rights, like, it's bullshit. It's simply bullshit. It's just like, no, they want to protect you, protect the children of our future. That's why the whole entire ideal of this Project 25, you know, agenda is to protect the families, protect the children, and to regulate these things that will harm children and families. Like, that's it, and harm Americans, period. Like, and to be honest, it's also combating like these big organizations, like, you know, like these LGBT organizations, these surgeries, big pharma that is like, you know, basically preying on children, preying on their emotions, preying on their confusion, their mental illnesses that they are garnering. And it could be due to medications, it could be due to like these, you know, vaccines out there. I low-key didn't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It can be like caused by anything, honestly. It can be caused by how they were raised, how anything, like, and big pharma, like, in these big organizations, they prey on that for more profit. So once you get down to the nitty gritty of it all, it's a big money game. But no one wants to talk about that. And then there's another thing that everyone's getting very concerned about: gay marriage. Gay marriage this, gay marriage that. To be honest, dude, so many of these LGBT motherfuckers out here, especially the gays, I'm gonna talk about the gays, half of y'all not even married, bitch. Half of you motherfuckers aren't even married. Like, and y'all claim to, like, you know, you want to preserve your rights, preserve this. Like, dude, the only reason why Barack Obama passed that and, you know, wanted gay marriage to be implemented is just so you can be on his side. That's it. And just because he won another term. That's the only reason why. Like, dude, if you guys actually wake up and you actually smell the coffee and you actually sat down, only thing that you really need is a civil union. That's all you need. You just need it, because to be honest, this is a religious and Christian nation. This used to be a very Christian nation, and it still is, regardless. It's under God, indivisible. Like, it's in every single thing that we are about in this country. Would it be so bad that we read the Bible in class? Would it be so bad, like, if we stopped, like, you know, allowing sexual perversion in the classroom? Would it be so bad to stop allowing this degeneracy happen in our culture? Would it be so bad to have that? It wouldn't. No one is saying that, like, you should not have your right to be able to, you know, marry the same sex. What they're saying is, like, don't change the definition of marriage. To be honest, gay marriage should have never been implemented from the start. That's how the slippery slope happened. What it should have done, it should have been changed in a different way, where it was just a civil union between the man and the man and the woman and the woman. And instead of calling it marriage, it could have just called it a civil union, period. Just to make everyone just shut the fuck up, okay? That's how it should have been. But of course, we have our rights now. I don't truly believe that gay marriage, quote unquote gay marriage, is going to be taken down. I don't think it's going to happen because Trump is very much for gay marriage. He literally had a gay marriage at Mar-a-Lago like a couple weeks ago, actually a month ago or something like that. I don't even fucking know. And it was fine. Like, I think that it's a lot of fear-mongering propaganda that's happening here on TikTok, and a lot of misinformation that y'all like to say, and y'all just want to literally just fuck up his whole entire campaign because you just don't like the man. You want him in jail. You want him behind bars. You don't want to look at him. You're scared of him because you know it's the truth. That's why. The only reason why you want to lock him up, get him out of your face, because you know it's the truth. It's fucking hot. I was interrupted again, of course. And the thing is too, like, when it comes to the gays, like that's just how I see it. A lot of the gays out there, especially even right-wing gays, they don't see it how I am. I do believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. It always has been, always will be. And I think that we need to garner our own spaces, just like conservatism. Like, gays and trans people should not be in the conservative space, like, period. You should not be in that space. You should pick your own space. Just call yourself a Republican. Call yourself a gay Republican. That's all you are. That's all you will ever be if you are a right-wing person and you value the Republican values. That's it, you know? I think the definitions matter, and I think that that's why so many people are so confused about all these different regulations and confused about all these different things. It's like, you guys, you have to, like, understand, like, definitions matter. The meaning of things matter. And when you reconstruct those meanings and make them into something else that they never was and never will ever be, this is why we have so many different, like, you know, divisiveness in this country. We've rearranged everything. We don't know what a woman is. We don't know what a man is. And it's just, it's insane. It really is, how backwards everything is. But it's a shame. Okay, so I found these two videos that I think are so, like, we are on the borderline, like, black supremacy now. Like, oh my God, like, black people, like, my people, bitch, they are so supremacist. Like, we are, like, our country is so fucked up. But I want to, like, listen to this woman with you guys. Because I listened to, like, the first half, and I was like, this bitch is insane.
Any more pockets of independent power outside the power that is held by the president. So before I get into this, here's the disclaimer. I have made it very clear that I am not a Democrat or a Republican.
Okay.
I am black and I'm pragmatic.
She's black and she's pragmatic. Okay.
And my primary goal in civic engagement is black liberation. I vote religiously. And I vote religiously because I do not believe that liberation is going to be won in one arena alone. I don't think it's going to be won just marching in the streets. I don't think it's going to be won just in the voting booths. I do not believe that it's going to be won just in the halls of Congress. I think that it is going to take a massive push in all arenas for us to see the improvement in the quality of our black lives that we deserve.
The quality and improvement of your black life. You guys, like, have we really lost it? Like, what do you mean by just your black life? So you don't, so that white man that's on the side of the corner, that's on literally on the streets of the corner, with no home, no money. You, like, his life is not as bad as yours. Like, you seem like that you're a nurse. What? I just, in the black liberation bullshit, like, what do you need to be liberated of? What? Why can't you just live your life, be black, live your life, not even talk about your race, and just do you? Get to work. Build your life. Do something. Get a business. Do something. Like, that's what Rihanna's doing. That's what Beyonce's doing. That's what a lot of these other YouTubers and, you know, whatever have you are doing, and they're black, they're successful. Why can't you? Why are you blaming this on white people only, solely for your fucking failures in life? And I can't. And they putting this on Project 2025 because it's coming for like the public education system, because of like, you know, they trying to in those documents, Project 2025, it is coming for like, you know, critical race theory and stuff like that, and, you know, these colleges and, you know, only accepting black Americans based on their skin tone and not for their qualifications and stuff like that. And that's why these people are going so irate. There's another video as well of this lady talking about it in depth, of like her explanation of why she agrees with this woman that I'm reacting to. Let's watch that.
That is the work of white people. It is the work of Bernie.
And she is not wrong. She's not the least bit wrong. I have been working on dissecting Project 2025, and as you can tell, I've been doing some diligence. But if you don't accept what she has to say, and I really encourage you to go check out that video, I want to read something to you that will make it as crystal clear. Now, this is simply in chapter 1, in section 1, on page 5, that I'm about to read to you, and it goes like this. The noxious tenets of critical race theory and gender ideology should be excised from curricula in every public school in the country. These theories poison our children, who are being taught, on the one hand, to affirm that the color of their skin fundamentally determines their identity and even their moral status, while on the other, they are taught to deny the very creatureliness that inheres in being human and consists in accepting the givenness of our nature as men or women. Exactly which of our children do you think the Heritage Foundation and the hundreds of people who contributed to Project 2025 are referring to when...
All children. They're referring to all children. Yes. Yes. Why are we teaching children on the basis of their skin tone? And also, why are taxpayers funding this for our children to be poisoned by racist ideology? Basically, to hate white people. That's all it is. It's just to hate white people, and to get blacks to hate white people even more as their children. Why are we teaching that? Why are we not teaching them just to love each other like we always have been from the beginning? I was not taught to hate my neighbor. I was not taught to hate someone based on like the past of what happened in slavery like 400, 500, 600,000 motherfucking years ago. I don't fucking know. It doesn't correlate with today's society. Today's society, we are freer than ever as black Americans. Bitch, you are allowed to fucking cuss out a police officer when you get fucking pulled over, bitch. What are you talking about? And do you want to talk about black liberation? What's so liberating about teaching young children to hate white children? Teaching black children to hate white children. That's not black liberation. It's not. It's setting back black people. It's setting back black children from going ahead and stop thinking that like there's a white monster behind me trying to stop me from being successful. I don't understand this, and this is why the public education system needs to be fucking dismantled. And that's why I agree with that. I do. I don't believe that we should be funding this shit. I don't believe that it's helping the low income class that that's putting the children through this. Like, I don't believe that a lot of these people that are being picked in colleges are actually worthy or even qualified to be in these colleges, these high-ranking colleges. They're picking them based on their skin tone. Like, it needs to be dismantled and rebuilt. That's what it needs to be. Let's keep on listening to this lady.
It comes to being vilified or having their moral character impugned because of learning about accurate history. Which children do you think they actually...
What's so accurate about teaching children to hate another child based on their race? What does that have to do with history? No one's saying that you can't talk about slavery or anything like that, but to be honest, should we actually be talking about that? Why? What's the benefit of all of that if you're not going to actually tell the truth about slavery and who actually were who also were enslaving people. Blacks were also enslaving other blacks. Dude, Indians, Native Americans also were fucking enslaving their own kind and even eating them. That's the true history. You only want to talk about one half of that history. Jews were also within the slave trade. They were also slave masters as well. No one ever want to talk about that. Whites also were slaves and also have enslaved other types of people as well. You don't want to talk about the real truth about history. You just want to talk about only your side of history and how much your people were oppressed the most and no one else were slaves. You want to be biased. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. And you want to like have some type of reparations. You want to have some type of like you are owed something due to like something you've never even been through before in your life. And you want to keep that instilled into the young children just so they can become more mentally oppressed, more hateful, and become ultimately not successful. And also garner this same black liberation that you talk about that is also destroying them. They're fatherless. Families are broken. The children are being taught to hate other people based on their race and what the past was like. They get into drugs. They get into gang violence. Just look at Chicago alone. Look at Chicago alone. Look at the black on black crime. You want to talk black liberation. How about you talk about how disastrous that is? You don't want to. You want to put the blame on someone else when you are the blame. You are the blame.
They care about being affected by this. I'm gonna give you two guesses. One of them will be wrong. And I need you to understand this, that as I dissect this and I map out, and I mean I have mapped out a series of aspects I am going to examine about Project 2025. I need you to understand one thing and one thing only, that all the theorizing, all the postulating, all the speculation, all the dissection is there for everyone. I am doing this for everyone, but you need to understand that as this previous creator has stated, the root of the problem does not lie within my community. It does not lie within Latine, Asian, Native, or any other marginalized, racially marginalized community. Because yes, the white community may have LGBTQ members. It may have those who are single mothers. It may have all the other factions that are going to be targeted by this doctrine, by this manifesto. But the power in cutting it off, the power at getting at the root, lies within the white community.
And you know what? Them white guilt motherfuckers, they will give you exactly what you want, bitch. They will give you your gender affirming care. They will. They will give you your LGBT rights. Yes, it's up to white people. The blacks, they've given up. They said, bitch, it's up to the white people to give us our gender affirming care. Since when? So black liberation is about giving you your gender affirming care. And also allowing the blacks to hate the whites. That's all it's about. And that's why we should save our public education system. That's why. You guys, I think I'm done with this video. I really am. I've rambled enough about this and my thoughts watching these lunatics. I am done. I am done. It is insane how these people have tricked themselves to think that this is any of that LGBT, like abortion, like how did that become black liberation to care about wanting to kill your own child in the womb? I don't, you guys. And also, how is that even a constitutional, like, you think that's your constitutional right to kill your own child? Really? Wow. I'm lost at words. I really am. So this is Project 2025, you guys. A lot of fear-mongering, a lot of leftist propaganda. There's so many more things that these people, they love to think that, like, you know, it's a right versus left thing. But to be honest, both sides are very in on this divisiveness when you actually think about it. And yes, I am a registered Republican, but like at least I call out my own side. I don't just like fearmonger and make it sound like that, like, you know, it's only one side or the other side that we should just be having our whole entire life up for. Dude, if you look at my other videos, I talk about what these lobbyists, these donors, Jewish donors, want to do to all Americans. And if you look at the border, who's in charge of that right now, it tells you the truth right there, what's happening. Like, and and this is why we should have Christian leaders in this country. You can't have people that in their teachings, they look down on blacks, whites, as goy, as less than, and how they're taught in their books that, you know, we should be enslaved because they are the chosen people. You can't have people like that running your country. Look at Biden's administration. All of them. He claims this is the most diverse administration. No, it's not. It's not. Zionism should not be taking over our country. We are Christian nationalists here. A lot of people aren't nowadays because of the disgusting degeneracy and denigration of our country. But we need it more than ever now. We really do. We really do. But anyways, I'm done. It's sad. It's sad that like no one's seeing what's happening actually. We have people that are trading in their Christian values for money and more power, and this is why our tax dollars getting funded overseas. It's much more than just what these people are bickering about, you know, and they never call out their own people, how they're also bought and paid the most to kill children overseas, and think that, like, you know, our tax dollars should be funding that. And then they wonder why terrorism just continues to just keep on popping up out of nowhere. Like, if you were living over there, constantly getting harassed, constantly getting bombed, you don't think you would become a terrorist? Also, I just want to say something else too. Like, when I'm talking about, like, you know, the Republicans and how they're bought out by the Jewish lobby and stuff like that, like, you guys, I don't believe that anyone right now, Trump has changed so much, and while all of us is like going at it over, you know, Project 2025, it honestly wouldn't matter because everyone is so bought out. It doesn't matter if you're a leftist or a rightist, the political candidate, even RFK. The only person I think that would be really good would be Vivek, because he would not want to be, you know, given the money from these, you know, Jewish lobbyists to only implement harsher hate speech laws, harsher, you know, restriction of free speech, and implementing the government to track us online for saying exactly how we feel about what's happening within our government. I think on both sides, and I think that this Project 2025 thing is a distraction. It is. And I also think that despite that this is also done by the Heritage Foundation, and I do agree with some of the policies that's within it, I don't believe that all these things will be implemented. I don't. Like, within the 4 years, like, I don't believe that they will be implemented, but we'll see. I'm all here for the better policies, but also I'm not going to refrain from speaking against the harms of what other policies they do have in store for Americans, especially America First Americans. And that's what I wanted to say about that.